Hello, everyone. We are the Lost Caravan RPG. We do one-shots, mini-series, and long-running campaigns. If it's TTRPG, we pretty much do it all. Sorry, I got distracted by my own words showing up in captions. We are playing some Fabula Ultima tonight. It's the day. Episode 6, I do believe, which is crazy that it is flying by this fast, but I am so very excited for it. Before we dive in, we do have just a few announcements to go through. The first being, we do have a new sponsor for our stream, which is Soul Muppet Publishing. They published Orbital Blues, which we played recently, and you'll be seeing more of very soon if you like Space Cowboy Adventure. Also, if you miss any of our streams, you can find them on our YouTube channel, which is just Lost Caravan RPG at YouTube. And if you want to support us even further, you can check out our website, lostcaravanrpg.com. You can learn more about the stream team, the community that helps to support us, as well as check out some of our cool merch, like shirts and coffee cups and stuff. Stuff. But before we dive into tonight's game, I do want to go around, give everyone a chance to tell you who they are and who they're playing tonight. And what, you know what? No, we'll save that part. No reason. We'll go clockwise, starting from me, which means that, as always, we are starting with Kit.
Afraid. Hi. I'm Kit. You can find me places on the internet at KitRollCause, same way it is spelled somewhere around me. Tonight I will be your Ophelia. Just a little robot guy, having a time, everything's fine. Hanging out with my friends.
Heck yeah. And how was Ophi doing after that last fight?
Ophi's fine. Ophi felt really good about helping out their friends. We all did a really good job, and they're totally not worried about how distance cadence seems to suddenly be. It's fine. It's fine. We're all coping.
Yeah, everything is great. Speaking of, up to Anna.
That is me. I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny most places on the internet, and I played Cadence, the time assassin, who is not at all nervous about checking in at home when we get to Strei'Ah.
No.
See how that goes.
Can't imagine why you would be. And then up to Fail.
Hey everybody, I am Fail Prime. I am playing Drond, the icy, punchy, fun time guy. Yeah.
Heck yeah. And then over to Kian.
Hello everyone. My name is Kian. I am playing Sprout, who's just, here for a good time.
Hopefully,
all I got.
Also a long time.
Debatable. Sprout's making some questionable choices. But they were helpful in the last fight, so we're doing good.
And then unfortunately tonight, Echo will not be joining us. They have been called off on a secret mission and will be rejoining us hopefully next time. And of course, that just leaves me. I am Andrew, your storyteller for tonight's game, and for most games around here, although you are going to see bunch of friendly faces behind the GM's chair in the coming weeks, because we have a bunch of great people that want to tell a bunch of great stories, and we are here to support it. But that's all I got. Let's dive on into this. Set the proper... Last time, we came across a trapped dragon forced into chains by some dark magic, possibly the last living dragon in existence. Naturally, they were very untrustworthy of all of you, claiming that it was folks like you, mortals, that put them in this position in the first place. But when you put yourselves at great risk to destroy the binds that kept them chained, they seem to look at you in a new light. Speaking of looking at people in a new light, Ophelia may have gone a little overboard as shadow creatures were starting to stream into this chamber where the fight was taking place, and they lobbed some kind of alchemical mixture out the door, down the hall, and it exploded with the force of 1,000 suns, and there were no more shadow creatures.
I was being helpful. Right?
After the very close fight, which some of us weren't looking quite so good, we took some time to heal our wounds, both physically and emotionally, as Cadence and Echo shared a moment alone, which I highly recommend you go check out the end of last episode if you haven't. It was adorable. With the dragon now in human form, bringing parts of the city back to life, or at least a shadow of its former life. And I think, unless anyone else has anything to add, that's pretty much where we left off. The rest of you, Ophi, Vand, and Sprout, you have a moment to yourselves to set up your tent, to finally breathe, get some food in you, get some healing on your wounds. And you can also see parts of the city, kind of this spectral like sheen just washing over them, and buildings that were collapsed a moment ago appear in illusion only to rise back up to their former glory, and ghosts of the citizens going about their day. They, of course, pay you no mind. They aren't real. What do the three of you like to do?
Sophie would probably either help set up camp if that's something that's going to happen, or if folks don't want to hang out with them, they'll just go explore on their own. That's okay. Fine.
Sprout absolutely wants to hang out with Ophi, so Sprout is a little impressed at the quick action with a something similar to a Molotov cocktail, I imagine.
It's just a simple chemical reaction, really.
Who would have thought war crimes would impress Sprout?
I don't know about war crimes.
uh, I think it counts.
Does Geneva even exist here?
I was about to type that into chat. You can't break the Geneva Convention if it doesn't exist.
You can't break Geneva if Geneva was never invented.
I'm sure there is some sect of like international law that prevents some use of highly destructive weaponry. But
This place doesn't technically exist, so.
Edophilia technically doesn't exist.
What?
That was a little mean. Who?
Hey,
Wow.
As
what?
far
Hey,
as far as national records of registered weaponry goes, Ophelia is not on that list.
I am not classified for weapons.
Exactly.
So what you're telling me is we have been traveling with an undocumented WMD?
I am not a WMD.
I beg to differ.
I created one. Maybe, arguably. I don't define mass destruction.
How many minions did Ophi blow up?
Unknown.
We go into what I would have been rolling With the 4 rounds of combat.
You know, don't make me confront the consequences of my actions. How dare you? I'm just a little guy, Hoop.
About 30.
It's not that bad.
That was just what was in the immediate vicinity.
Hoop, I feel like I should know the question to this answer, but I don't, so forgive me.
Mhm.
Did we find Merrick and Gavin? The father and son?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yet.
Um,
But it's a big city.
I'm gonna go look for them. And if Mora talks to me, I'm gonna ignore her ass.
You're ignoring the voice in your head?
I am. For once in my life, I will display an iota of impulse control.
I think there'd be just kind of a moment every once in a while that you're used to where she'll just pop in, point something out, or say something, and then, re-disappear. She'd pop in, say, oh, that's an interesting set of ruins. Expect to see that kind of design here. And then when she gets nothing in return, you could almost feel the smile, like in your mind, using this opportunity to absolutely torment you.
She's such a punk. I think every time it happens, Sprout opens their mouth like they're going to say something, and then they're like, "Fuck, wait, I'm not supposed to be talking to her right now." So it definitely is a difficult thing for them, but I will do my best to not speak to Mora right now because she suggested that we could leave the team behind, and I have some very mixed feelings about that suggestion from her.
Is this while Sprout is out with Ophi, or is this?
Are you gonna come with me to look for Merrick and Gavin?
Only if you want me to come. I will not intrude.
You're more than welcome. The camp is set up. I think we're okay. Go for a little walk.
Okay. I think I would like the company.
Me too, Ophi.
Single tier.
In which case, absolutely, this is while Ophi is around.
I'm just imagining like Sprout opens their mouth. Ophi's like, yes? Oh, never mind. Just like,
I assume that you have Ophi's typical light source.
listen,
Inventory.
finger torch. One day I will make you all finger torches, and then it will be so
It's
useful.
over. It's over for all the bitches.
It's over.
Would both of you make dexterity insight rolls?
Who's hitting? Man. Oh man.
Do I get to add them? Or do I is
Yeah,
it
you
is
add
it the
the die.
highest one?
Add the die together.
Well, great, because that's still only a 5, but it's better than a 4.
That's a 17.
Good lord.
Yeah, it tracks with a who knows how powerful Esper in your mind, distracting you at every turn. Like, oh no, don't step there. Oh, step there. Yes, it's fine. Oh no, don't step there. Again, like every couple seconds. It would make sense that you would start missing things. But Ophi, who is probably hypersensitive to things right now,
Mm-hmm.
you're noticing that those shadows that were so eager to come at you, just sitting on the edge of your light, every step you take, they would take right behind you. They don't seem present at all.
Like they're not just distant, they're like not even here.
Yeah, just there's nothing.
Well, I didn't think we got all of them.
What was that?
It's empty. The shadows, they're gone?
Oh, uh, I guess I didn't notice. Uh, I mean, it was a pretty big explosion that you set off, so
Thank you.
it was impressive.
Should I not have done that?
I think it helped us out a lot.
I think so too, but
But what? What do you? What would make you think you shouldn't have done it?
I don't think everyone likes when I fight too.
You talking about Cadence?
Drond also said I committed war crimes, so perhaps both?
I don't know much about John's background, but I suspect he doesn't have much room to talk. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
I don't think I'm worried about him. I don't think he liked me anyways.
I think you're probably growing on him more than he would admit.
I don't know that I have evidence of that, but thank you.
Look, I am not sure why you and Cadence ended up together. So I don't know all the circumstances, but maybe she just wants to protect you.
I think that is true.
And if you're trying to protect somebody, you probably don't want them in the middle of a fight.
But I was useful.
Sure, but you don't want them to get hurt. Sometimes it's more important to stay safe than it is to be useful.
If I was not useful, she would have died.
One of us might have been able to help, but look, I think you did great, and I am very grateful we had you on our side in this fight. But I don't know, maybe just talk to Cadence, and maybe that will clear some things up. I mean, why are you two together?
She wanted to protect me.
Well, then sounds to me like she probably just doesn't want you chancing getting hurt.
That does not seem the best use of my abilities. I am not sanctioned for combat, but it does not make sense to be useful and to not be used.
You keep
I-
using the word useful, and when we're talking about people, Ophi, it's about being helpful. We don't
Helpful.
want to use you. But if
But I
you
do want to
help,
help.
we're very appreciative of it, but we don't want to use you. We don't want you to there's not an expectation that you run into the fray and save us. There's got to be a little bit of self-preservation.
It is what you would do for me.
Sure, but Cadence is a little intimidating, and I don't want her to get mad if I don't do that. So, and I'm a little bit more designated for combat than you are. So, it makes sense.
Ophi just kind of smiles and dangerous, but friendly. Yes.
That's the goal. Maybe just chill out on the bombs. Next time you have to do something, throw your fingers guns. I don't really understand what happens when you do that, but maybe rely on that.
It's actually very interesting. You see, she just sort of like goes into like explaining the mechanisms of how like firing finger guns works.
Sprout will absolutely pull out this giant heavy crossbow now and be like, oh, okay, kind of similar because I have the bow. And
Yes.
target practice it is, more than likely.
Excellent. Like, I only have 5 rounds right now, but we will fix that.
Especially with your 17. Even as you're talking and you're describing the specifics of what you can do and possibilities, you hear this very low hiss.
Like machines or like a cat?
Like cat, more like larger cat.
I
But-
thought there was no one here.
But it's weak. Like that was maybe all they could muster.
I am keeping my eyes peeled for a cat.
Looking around, you notice that a lot of the rubble everywhere is just covered in these thick layers of dust. But specifically here, there are stone pillars, there's bits of crumbled away architecture that isn't dust covered. In fact, it looks like things have been moved.
Ophi,
Yes?
everything okay over there?
I'm not sure. I think she'll like sort of like walk over towards one of these things. Self-preservation does not know what that is. Just like walk over to one of these like piles of rubble that has maybe been moved around a bit. And sort of just like inspect it a little bit, try to figure out like how would this have been moved? What would this have looked like? Just like you could see like the math happening, like the physics going on. Hey,
Even as you're down there staring, that like spot of stone that's kind of resting behind where everything has been moved to blinks and then withdraws away from you.
I did not commit a war crime.
Great. What is happening?
I do not think the little ones. I do not think they're gone. Just gone. Words are difficult sometimes.
It's been a long day.
It has.
I will climb down, kind of, if Ophi will direct me. And
Yeah, I
see.
mean she's in there with you. Let's go.
Well, yeah, we'll try and see what is going on.
It's very much a jungle gym that feels like it could collapse and crush you both in moments.
The best kind.
Yeah.
Fun.
There's even
I too grew up in the 90s.
safety features. What's that? Yeah, there's points where you'll kind of push yourself through a very small opening of stone, only to hear another part of the stonework collapse like a good 50 feet down away from you.
Yeah, I think Ophi's sort of like guiding Sprout around a little bit, but also like keeping track of, okay, well, if that collapsed, then how are we getting out? We can go that way. But if that collapsed, then we need to go, like, trying to like keep the mental math going of like, what is the probability that we actually get stuck down here? Because Sprout is encouraging me to be self-preservation-y. So if we get to a point where it doesn't seem like, I mean, obviously it doesn't seem safe, but where it seems like we are running out of outs, they'll sort of like, bother Sprout to come back.
Yeah. Probably 40-ish feet down, crawling through space after space. It would start to open up. It would become easier to traverse, and you'd see the first sign of where these missing people spawn. These very silky, kind of shadow-coated cocoons.
Do you want to bring your light a little bit closer, Ophi? I want to see if I can like see any like reflection, features, anything through this without quite setting this cocoon thing on fire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not getting
Yeah.
close enough to. I'm not setting it on fire. At least not on purpose.
It's transparent enough that you could see human-esque features, as well as animal-like features in some of them.
Does this look like spider web?
Kind of.
Cool.
I don't think this is in the life cycle of a human.
Not any human that I know.
This is not in the textbooks.
I mean, good. I don't want this to look forward to. I will grab my axe and try to slowly cut through one of these.
Yeah. It is very soft. And the person inside would kind of just come spilling out. That's not wet or anything on the inside.
That doesn't make me feel better, Hoop. Are they alive?
They are alive.
Do they look like either Merrick or Gavin?
Your description, the description you got of them was minimal at best, but it doesn't seem like it fits either. But there are more of these cocoons.
Shit.
Ophi will sort of first aid, try to see if this person is injured.
Does Ophi know much in the way of magical healing as opposed to more physical, chemical healing?
I feel like if Ophi does, it's more in theory. I think they're sort of the practice. What they've actually done is a lot of like mechanical fixing themselves, first aid, fixing any of like the playground boo-boos and stuff. But I think anything past that would be
insights, willpower roll.
Fascinating. Okay. My best and my worst stat. Well, all right, I'll take it. That's a 12? 12. Yes, I can do math.
Is it a crit?
No. No, it's a 3 and a 9.
My best kind of analogy for it would be like suspended animation, but if they were being suspended in darkness rather than cold.
Oh.
And there are more empty cocoons. There are 5 of them, in fact.
And how many full ones did you say?
I mean, if you hold up the light, it would extend for a ways.
Do the empty cocoons look like nothing was ever in there, or that something has gotten out?
Like maybe they were constructed recently with the anticipation of adding more bodies to them.
Cool. Well, looks like we found where we were supposed to be.
I
As
do
you
not think this is a part of my life cycle either.
as you have that finger torch out, kind of, taking a few tentative steps deeper into this cleared out space, you see the thing that had moved earlier, the thing that had hissed at you. A dune dragon, very clearly limping, doing its best to hold its ground, standing there, again letting out a hiss at you. Very much standing between you and a nest of eggs.
Oh, that is definitely in his life cycle. Hmm. Just
How big is
back
he?
up with the fire.
Looks on the smaller side compared to what you've encountered, but it also looks pretty emaciated.
Ophi, do you think you could heal that? If we can catch it, hold it still.
I could maybe help. I don't think I can fix it right now. Like, I don't think I could fix it in a short amount of time, but I could maybe help it.
Does this look like a full-grown dune dragon, or it's one of
It
the ones
does.
with the eggs?
It looks old. There are also bits where the scales should be, where it looks like some kind of infection has just spread up from dozens of just these tiny bites all along its body.
I am patting around in my chassis for rations, travel snacks, anything like that. I have bothered enough like small animals that I know that food typically works. Just like fire over here. Food? Just like kneeling, getting small.
Maybe either insight, or willpower, your choice, with a fairly low target number.
There is one correct answer to what that roll is. That's a 4.
Not
Can
that
I?
low.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty low is the thing. Can I spend a Fabula point and because we can pull bonds to reroll things?
Mm-hmm. Bonds or traits.
Can I give the food to Sprout and like try to remove my sort of fire having situation away? And like maybe, I don't know, instruct Sprout on how best to psst the cat, Like
Yeah. Calling in some backup.
yeah. Just like I am intimidating to this thing, perhaps because of the fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go ahead.
I will kneel down and make myself as small as possible, following Ophi's lead.
Excellent. I will try. Yeah, there we go. That is an 18. I am a very good teacher.
Oh.
I'm a very good teacher.
The difference.
Yes.
Was that a crit
Yes,
by
those were-
chance?
No, it was an 8 and a 10.
Almost.
So close.
It very clearly is in protect mode. It is, you are threat. Threat must be removed. But there's also that base instinct of hunger, of what self-preservation it has left, and just watches you get closer with the food before just collapsing.
Be careful with your fingers. They do not know the difference.
I'm gonna go up to it,
Flat hand.
Did this thing just die in front of us, Hoop?
No, not dead.
Oh my god.
Oh, thank God.
I'm so scared.
No, just exhausted.
I
Oh,
will
it's baby.
put like the food right in front of it where it's reachable, and get my canteen out and kind of try to provide it with some water. How many eggs are there?
And you can very clearly see that this thing was in a cocoon, clawed its way out, had its eggs, and has been basically just surviving.
What do you think, Ophi? I don't know. I don't know how much longer this one is gonna last.
I think we can help it. I think
Okay.
we should try.
I don't know what to do, but if you tell me, I will do it.
I don't know if at this point, if I try to get closer to it, if it will start running, I will stop trying to, like, if it gets like nervous again. But if not, I will try to get close enough to like get an idea of like what is wrong, why it was limping. Like if something is broken, I think Ophi might know enough to like, immobilize.
There's very clearly an infection. Those little shadow creatures
Yeah.
that Echo was taunting, they do seem to have quite a bit of venom to them.
Do you think it'd be better off at camp? Maybe we can carry it and the eggs, or maybe, oh god, what's the dragon's name?
Ignisareth.
Maybe Ignisareth will know.
Maybe. I don't think it will like to be carried or moved from its nest.
I don't think so either, but
I could try to make something, but I am very low on components.
maybe we go and get the others. I've been told I'm a bit impulsive, and I'm going to be honest. I would like to adopt this, but I don't know that that would be approved by everybody else in the party, so
If we adopt this one, we are also adopting 2 eggs, and that might need a group consensus.
I am ready to be a parent. I would do this.
In your mind, here. What? You impulsive? Ugh. Gasp.
Sprout out loud will say, "This is really not the time."
Is it not?
So,
Should we wait?
not at you, not at you. We can. Let's go find the others.
Just sort of like looking, behind around, like is somebody else here? And then just sort of like slowly, like a step, 2 steps, puts the back of its hand on your forehead. Okay.
It's been a long day, and this isn't great timing for us to adopt something, but
Yes, we should talk to the others. Wait.
Just because you did do some looking around, you would see that a very clear difference between the cocoons with surviving individuals and cocoons where their occupant has passed away. So a vast majority of them do seem to be alive still. Two of you headed back.
I think so. This is a sad place.
this is, and I don't want to leave anything in here.
Would you both give me a...
No. Shan't be doing that, Hoop. Whatever it is that you're asking.
Whatever?
Take it.
A dexterity might roll to get out safely.
Oh no. Oh, there.
If we must.
That's going to be a 14.
Oof,
Ooh. All right. That's a 10.
good enough.
That's fine.
You managed to get through without causing too many more collapses. This place is definitely not meant for corporeal creatures that require their physical bodies to climb through these ruins. Speaking of back at camp, Rand,
Yeah.
you are left to tend to your wounds while others go survivor hunting or go off and have their chats. Anything you'd like to do?
Drand would have stayed with the camp, made sure, nothing else was going to come along, and probably meditate and just get his mind back to a right state after picking up Starlight and having that, I don't know, the void kind of crawl up his arm, which is something he's encountered before, but isn't really ready to share and hopes nobody noticed.
Certainly not the sentient sword that would have noticed.
I mean, if I gotta sit down and have a nice long conversation about keeping secrets with a sword, I might look a little bit crazy. But
But yeah, you are welcome to sit. Is there an actual camp activity that you'd like to do?
I don't think there's anything specific other than just meditation.
How much MP did you use last fight? If I recall,
All of it.
was all of it. Okay. For me, I'm not pulling up my notes. Yeah, let's go with. You have good willpower, right?
Double check that. I have okay willpower.
Sure. How about nice willpower roll?
Okay. That is an 8.
There is certainly something in you that is just not sitting right. Something about the events that have just transpired, who it was that put this all into motion, who knows how long ago. Even as you're trying to slip into meditation, just this thoughts still continue to just creep in of there was someone imprisoning a dragon, possibly the dragon. And if they're still around, someone like that is likely to know more about your gauntlet.
Are there... So we destroyed the pillars, or like, I mean, I guess the obsidian pillars would still be there though, right?
Yes.
And are there runes on those pillars?
Covered head to toe.
I am gonna go around and like copy all of the runes that I can see.
Let me take you a bit, but you got nothing but time.
Would I guess not really being a historian, would I recognize any of these? Like, do any of them look like they might have possibly could have translated into modern language?
Yes, there are certainly semblances of different languages. Like you said, you're not really one for history books from other lands, but you've had your fair share of travelers coming through the north. There are even sigils that reflect some of your own writing and language. This This looks like a base language. Less of like it took all of those different languages and fused them together, and more of this existed and it broke apart into modern day language.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I guess I'll just add those to my notes and keep kind of looking around as I wait for everybody to come back, if they're coming back.
As you are running very low on willpower, at this point, almost just thoroughly mentally exhausted, these pillars do still radiate magic. They radiate thoughts and feelings, not quite full memories, but enough that you're getting the people that did this weren't doing it out of malice or anger. They were, in fact, sad when they did it. Some openly weeping that this had to be done, and yet still they went through with it.
Okay. And that's definitely going to take its toll. Noted. I don't know how I would honestly react. Like, I guess getting that, like, it would just make me a little bit suspicious of this dragon we just released.
Yeah.
But I mean, aside from that, I got nothing. I would hope that, you know, everybody's okay, but I don't want to just leave our camp and let whatever those little creatures were just kind of pop up and destroy things should they get bored.
Fair enough. I think that brings us over to Cadence. As you share your moment of embrace, have a hushed conversation, which I will leave to the privacy of DMs for the moment, up until the full cast is here and discuss it. But Echo has told you some secrets, and immediately has to get up, turn, and walk away. Promising to meet you, of course, in your home. They're very excited to get to meet your family and see your old stomping ground and just generally be a nuisance in all the best ways possible.
Yeah, Cadence doesn't respond one way or another to that. I think sits there for a little bit by herself and then wanders back to where the camp would be. And I guess seeing Drawn occupied with the pillars and everyone else gone, just takes some time drawing Starlight to do just some forms to kind of stretch out. I think she's a bit sore, a bit stiff after collapsing in that last fight. So, as always, Starlight doesn't make any noise as it cuts through the air. But yeah, just kind of focuses in on that.
I think after a few moments, your footsteps echoing first just kind of around the ruined city and then full echoing up that tunnel leading into this room where Ophi and Sprout, well, I'll leave it up to you two as to what state you were entering this room in.
Should probably unmute. I mean, dusty probably is a good word
Yeah.
for what we're doing.
So, hey guys. Found a sand dragon.
Dune dragon.
Dune dragon. Thank you.
Cadence just gives you a look.
It's still in its home, which is full of bodies wrapped in cocoons.
I'm sorry, what?
And there's 2 eggs. And it's injured.
Eggs are not. The eggs are from the dragon.
Yes.
Dragons don't usually have cocoons.
No, the cocoons are different. Those are other creatures.
There's people in them, and the people are alive, so that's good.
We should help them.
We should, yes. Are they the people we were looking for?
Well, we only pulled out one body, and that was not the person. And now that I'm thinking about it, we left them there on the ground in that place.
That
They
was
were
going to
alive.
be my next question, yes.
They were alive, and I don't believe the dragon would eat them.
It seemed a little too weak to get over there, to be honest. So
I think if it was going to eat them, it would have done so by now.
yeah.
Okay. Dran, are you busy? You want to help us with bodies and cocoons?
I mean, immediately no, but I guess, I don't really have a choice.
We would appreciate it if you would just agree to this task.
You do not have an obligation to be useful. Looking to Sprout for approval.
Sprout will just lean over and stage whisper, "Helpful. The word is helpful."
Helpful. You do not have an obligation to be helpful.
Where's our dragon buddy?
Last I saw him walking in the city, reminiscing.
Okay.
Echo had to leave as well.
Are they
That's
okay?
Odd, but okay.
They are. Just matters that have come up that they need to take care of.
Well,
As long as you're okay with that.
It's part of the job that we both find ourselves in.
Do any of us get a read from Cadence that the smooch
I don't know,
happened?
do you?
His lipstick on it? No.
How much is Cadence? How different is Cadence? Or is this just business as usual time assassin?
Cadence, I think, looks in slightly higher spirits than she was immediately after the fight. And talking about Echo, there is a kind of a wistful look on her face. I don't know what you would read from that, but it's there.
I mean, if either of you wants to roll some insight.
I sure
Of
fucking
course I
do.
do. Who? Of
Right
course I
now,
do.
she seems less guarded than she usually is.
My worst stat. Ooh. But that's a 11.
That is also an 11. It's fine.
I will leave that up to Cadence if the target number 11 is good enough.
She is not actively trying to deceive anyone or hide anything.
I would
She's
argue.
distracted.
I would argue that having been married, Drond would just know. He's like, oh, so what was obvious to everybody else is finally just kind of known now.
Certainly higher spirits, wistful looks, and maybe a very quick smile. I don't think it would be too difficult to tell that that's something. The extent left up to your imagination.
Ophi's just happy that she is happy again.
Well,
I don't know what this romance is that you speak of, but Cadence is happy.
the two of you know how to get back. You have reinforcements in tow. You can still see wisps of magic just kind of shooting up over parts of the city as Ignisareth is roaming through what used to be their domain.
I
Are we
mean,
going to go get them?
should we really be letting him wander around alone? I mean, we still really don't understand why he was chained up to begin with.
Are you in any condition to fight a dragon?
I'm in. I mean, I do what I gotta do. If I die, I die.
I would
No.
rather not die today, so.
I mean, I feel like he doesn't really given us reason to distrust him. And that kind of sounds like what you're feeling, Drond.
I mean, he was definitely chained up for a reason, and the people who chained him up, whether they wanted to do it or not, still did it. So,
People do things for bad reasons all of the time.
yeah, we'll talk about that later, Opie.
Okay. So we're not going to go talk to them?
I'll leave that up to you guys. I just don't know if we should be letting him wander off by himself.
Didn't.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Better to keep an eye on the unknown than to let the unknown keep an eye on us.
I don't know that our efforts are best spent trying to stop him from doing anything, to be honest. I think we should see after the people that we came after and hope that he still gives us a ride to the capital, because I'd rather not ride across the desert with a bunch of injured people in tow.
Fair enough.
Maybe we give them something else to do. We don't have to stop him from doing what he's doing. We could give him another option. Maybe he knows magic that could help the people or the small dragon and smaller dragons.
That's not a bad idea, I don't think. Would that make you feel a little bit better, Drond, if we had him here helping us?
Yeah.
And it might make him feel better also. I feel better when I am useful, helpful.
I will try and. Well, actually, I will turn to Cadence. I think you said you saw them last. Any idea which direction they headed, or?
Off over that way was last I saw.
I'm gonna take a decent amount of steps in that direction and just see if the dragon is visible. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Kind of rounding this block of buildings now with a good chunk of the city, illusionarily restored to its former glory. See Ignisareth standing in the middle of the street, letting these ghostly images pass through. Quiet contemplation.
Very softly, I will just say, "Hey, I don't want to interrupt. What I imagine is a little bit of remembering, but I wanted to see if we could get your help with something."
Can't interrupt a memory. It's already happened. It's already gone.
Yeah, well, whatever this is, then I don't. There's some people that are kind of alive in cocoons. We originally came here looking for some people, and they might be in there, but we're not sure how to wake them up, and wanted to see if you had any ideas.
I can see what I can do. Magic is recovering.
We'd
Either,
appreciate it.
either way.
I will toddle along, dragon in tow.
He does seem more human now than he did when he had first transformed. Like his perception of human may have been a little different than all of your perception of someone who. But he has shrunk down just a bit. The features look even less draconic than they had. To the average onlooker, it even probably pass as just a normal human. You're all still
Well,
set on flying out of here. Flying to. What was the name of the city?
Strei'Ah, is that where we're going? I was like, I know the name. Strei'Ah, that's our next stop. And yes, if you could give us a ride, it would save us a lot of time.
After the Archmage. City, I mean. Named after the Archmage, I assume.
I'm gonna look over at Cadence. Sprout don't know shit.
I think Cadence shrugs at that. I don't know that Cadence has studied too much into the history of the city.
I don't know if Ophi would know that. I don't know how much like history passes between the cities.
From this place, very little.
Fair enough.
It's good to see some legacy still standing.
That's a buddy of yours?
Oh, no, we tried to kill each other many times.
Oh. The opposite of buddies, then. Okay.
Well, what was your term? Buddy could also refer to an individual that has been by your side for more lifetimes than you can count. And that's honestly knows everything about you. Regardless of their intent to possibly kill you many times.
Yeah. I guess that qualifies. The people are down here in the hole. You wanna head that way?
Holds up a hand and pillars just start kind of picking themselves up, pulling themselves back to where they should be. But it is causing more and more to crumble. Things that weren't strong enough to hold that support. Hoping that there weren't any cocoons in those areas that just collapsed.
Ophi looks very concerned.
Down here then.
Yeah.
The steps, that illusion kind of follows with every footstep, turning just these destroyed cobblestone path into just this beautiful flat road. It's a vile creature. The fact that they were in my home at all. Embarrassment.
The people.
No. Thing that's weaved these cocoons. Thing that I can only assume that you chased off your alchemy.
The little ones.
Yes. Unless you've seen other creatures of pure shadow. Sorry to say, but some of your companions here are dead.
How many are alive?
Close to 20.
That's better than none.
That's a lot
We
of
can get
people
them
to
out.
try to transport through a desert, though.
I could take them.
Could we tell people where they are and they could come get them?
I can't allow more outsiders to know of me and my home.
Well, if we can wake them up, it's possible that they are suspended. They could find their way back on their own if the sandstorm is gone.
Yes. I could expel them from the city into the sands and leave them to their own devices.
As long as they're healthy. If they lived in a bark, they know how to traverse the desert, they know how to navigate it. So, as long as they are healthy, I don't know that that is a terrible idea.
What about the exploding snakes?
I don't understand the reference. Is this a culture thing?
No, what drove us here to your city was we were ambushed and attacked by a bunch of exploding snake-like creatures.
Elementals.
They're still elementals to this day.
Some.
They long disappeared. If you have faith that they can survive the journey, then I agree. They need to be simply let loose, make sure they're alive, and allowed to make their own way back.
I'll start cutting people out of the cocoons.
Yeah.
That's that he would come to a stop, staring down at the Dune Dragon. You don't belong here. Mother of our kin. Just kind of kneel down and gently run his hand across her scales.
Can you help her?
I doubt it.
That wasn't very reassuring.
Death never is.
How long do you think she has?
Perhaps released back out into the world, no longer bound here to protect a nest. Maybe she would recover. I can fix a broken body. I can do nothing for a broken spirit.
What you're saying. I'm sorry, Ophi, please.
I think making her leave her nest would break the spirit further.
However, I can help. Stand up. Uh, just giving a moment to pay reverence to the Dune Dragon who has nearly given its life to protect its offspring. Turn and keep walking down the line of cocoons. Like said, most of them are alive. They kind of just come rolling out that same suspended animation, but breathing. Those that didn't make it, they would also kind of come spilling out, but would very quickly start to kind of shrivel. The life force just gone from them. But they do have objects on them that don't seem affected by the same magical absorption. Amulets, golden compasses, shards that Cadence would probably recognize as being conduits. Typical
Any sort
things
of
that you would...
potions?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Any sort of potions?
This much. You know what? I'll roll a d8 and have it. Say that there's 2 IP worth of materials that you can gather.
Ophi's still stuck on the dragon. Ophi still wants to put together enough pieces to try to make something that will help it. But, I mean, if that's only if other people don't need the IP.
Rond is trying to figure out how to explain to Ophi that while unfortunately the mother may not make it, we could still potentially save the offspring. And sometimes that's the hard but greater good that we could do.
Yes, but if we can do both, we should do both. I am not deluded to think that there is no possibility that we only can do one, but we should try to do both.
We could try to do both, but say we get the mother outside, spirit broken, clearly infected still, and she's not doing well, and then both her and the offspring die. Now that's 3 creatures that have needlessly died when we could spare 2.
I have to agree.
So we should not try to help her?
I think the best thing we might be able to do in this situation is mercy.
If we do not try, we will fail.
We can try.
Ophi is doing potions. Ophi is inspecting and tinkering and maybe a little bit angry, but it's fine.
Sprout is going to go over to Ophi and take direction. Whatever she says to do, Sprout will follow, saying that this is important to Ophi.
I think just like find anything useful. If anybody has potions, like bits and pieces, component pouches of any sort, that they're not using. I think that's something that they trust that Sprout can do that.
The poison itself, at this stage, for most competent alchemists, would be incurable. Ophi is not most alchemists, as we have seen. So, I mean, it sounds mean, but I feel like target number 16 would be what you're trying to hit.
That's fine.
Can I offer any assistance
Absolutely.
since I'm helping?
Yep.
While they are rolling,
Yep.
I want to pull Ignis Aerith off to the side. If my friends are unsuccessful, would it offend you if I put this creature out of its misery?
Of course not. No one wants to see any living being suffer, much less a descendant of my blood.
Am I also rolling, or does it give Ophi an extra die or something?
So you'll both be rolling the same check. Ophi, what's higher for you, willpower or insight?
Definitely insight. For sure insight.
How about a dexterity insight?
Oh, okay. That's fine.
That's a 10 for Sprout.
Ooh.
Can I?
So
That's
what's
not.
your level of bond with Ophi?
I assume that I would have just taken it earlier, and so it's just the one admiration.
You would add +1 to this. And you have a hero point from Elsie.
I was gonna say, can I use one of the fabula points that I have to invoke a trait?
Absolutely.
Because this feels ambitious. If
Yeah.
this ain't ambitious, I don't know what is.
I
That was not a great roll.
used the 2 fabula points.
Yeah, I'm marking them from mine. But that one's still on the table. I had rollovers, so somebody can take that. That is as high as I can possibly roll. That is an 18. +1. So.
+1 from Sprout. 19. You're just combining different elements. Part of you knowing what these things do, but your conscious, focused mind just kind of taking a backseat. And just going on pure instinct. Just maybe a little more snappy, a little more kind of aggressive than you had ever been, especially towards Sprout. But it's like just focus and then hand me that. And then no, give me that one. And just, of course, not trying to be mean, but trying to put your whole heart into making this work.
Not angry, it is impatient. A little bit frustrated. Just at the situation, not at you. But it's very like, don't drop that.
Sprout, if you feel like this would be enough to help improve the bond between the two of you, happy to let you do so. I mean, for either of you, honestly.
Well, I don't think Ophi thinks fondly of Sprout.
Not currently, but I think this might help.
Alter the
because
emotion.
you were the one. It might alter the emotion because you were the one person who was willing to let me try.
I'll let you ponder on what you want to do with your bond. But you have a concoction. It is certainly potent. Probably don't want to get it on anyone's skin. No human should ever ingest this.
Hey, can I taste that?
Nope. No. You could once.
Let's go.
No. This is like the first there's no, I don't think there's no explanation, there's just no. But yeah, I think Ophi will sort of just like brush past Cadence and Drond and just like sit down in front of this dragon and try to like, try to like be far more gentle than they were with, with Sprout, with Dren, with Cadence. Like they have dealt with animals not having a good time before they have done this. And they will try to administer in whatever way seems most helpful. But just
for everyone that's seen the original Jurassic Park movie, that scene with the Triceratops, where she's just running over, trying to help, is very much Ophi right now. And like reaching down to kind of lift its head up, which you're strong, but this thing is also massive. It does help by lifting its head and kind of putting it down into your lap. Kind of not wanting to crush your legs under the weight of its skull. But it would take the concoction.
There's a lot of like very quiet, like, it is okay. You will be fixed. It will be all right. You will be with your children. It is okay. Like a lot of patting the head, a lot of like, like you would to, a kid who has fallen on the playground and skinned their knee and is crying and wailing up a storm. Like this is very much like, it is okay. Like
It does kind of start hacking and coughing a little bit as the liquid is very viscous, very acidic. Again, to most living creatures, this should be pure poison. But after a few moments, does take one full, complete, deep breath, which it has seemed to have trouble doing, before lifting off your lap that part where the scales have come off, and you're just seeing kind of that raw flesh underneath, almost parts where you can kind of see muscle has started to heal. Just slightly, but it is doing its job. Enough that it finally does get to its feet. Head now fully clocking that there's multiple of you in this makeshift lair. And just now, like, eye to eye with you from your seated position, Ophi leans forward and just boops you.
I think they'll do it right back. Just like this, like metal on like scale clank. Like it's like yeah. You will be okay.
There's this sound of a growl kind of mixed with clicking coming from Ignisareth. This thing just looks a little confused. Back at the eggs. Back at all of you. And then turns and starts just at first hobbling off, and then seems to get its strength back, and then just disappears into the room.
I think Ophi looks like fairly satisfied with that, but still a little bit angry. And just like after a second, will like stand up and just like wordlessly go keep cutting people down.
I told her, I suppose she was a mother, that the eggs would be taken care of. She could go, live her life, recover, rejoin nature.
How big are the eggs?
About the size of the average person's torso.
I'm gonna go pick one up and I'm gonna hug it. And I'm gonna turn to the group and say, Drond, come grab the other egg.
I ain't carrying shit.
Drond, take the egg. This is the one chance we have. Please grab the egg.
John's just gonna kind of stand there like, I got pulled into all of this craziness, and now I'm a pack mule.
I'm gonna open up my backpack thing. I don't know, but I'm gonna put one of the eggs in the bag and hold the other one to my stomach like you do with twins. Taking both the
Backpack
eggs.
was not built for that.
No. And as I'm walking away, I'm just saying, God, I hope we don't get into a fight.
Just have to dump some non-essentials, like, camping gear, like maybe a sleeping mat. Don't need it.
That's fine. I will literally leave everything. The group can have whatever they want. I'm taking the eggs.
I assume not the amulet.
Oh no, I'm keeping the amulet.
I think.
Actually,
Ignoring
I
but
don't.
keeping.
Yes, I don't want to do this, but I'm gonna. I'm gonna. Is there anything that looks similar amongst these people?
Nothing that looks like that. Theirs
Okay.
look more like. Well, I mean, two of your party at least would know exactly what they are. Uh, they're just little communication devices that go around your neck.
Oh,
They're
I mean, if they're not
called
using them.
Astro Communicator Pendants.
that sounds like a good idea.
There's two
It does.
in working order, and two that look like they could possibly be fixed.
I mean, we're going somewhere where they could get fixed.
I'll grab those.
I'll continue cutting stuff down as well, and I think kind of as I step past Ophi towards some of the cocoons in the back, just stop for a second with the hand on Ophi's shoulder and give them a little bit of a smile, and then continue past them and keep working on the cocoons.
Just very like frustrated face of like, what does this mean? You were mad at me, and then you were not mad, and then you were, and then you did not want me to help, and now you are happy again.
Human is their emotions.
I don't understand. It
The
doesn't make
worst.
sense. Where's the logic to this? No.
Yeah, it took a while, but everyone would be cut down and accounted for. Amidst those that had passed away, you'd find one etheric compass in working order. This is a compass that finds its way not by north, south, east, and west, but by following magical ley lines. Of course, you can also sell it for a pretty penny.
I would definitely keep a hold of that.
But with our bodies collected, those that were left behind, those that had passed, Ignisareth would offer to give them a proper burial here with all of the proper pleasantries that they've noticed over their many lifetimes with humans. Alright, they seem to be fine. I can banish them from this city. They will appear in the desert, alive, groggy, but they should know how to return home. That's what
And I
you
guess any of them that are alive, would we have found, the two we were looking for alive, or were they among the dead?
There are certainly two that look like they would fit the description. An older gentleman and younger, coming-of-age male. Very similar features. 99% sure father and son.
Well, I say we get them out of here and then get us out of here.
Very well. Pop. Magical energy. They all vanish.
Ignis,
Yes.
what keeps this city moving?
Me.
So what happens if you leave it?
Still functions as it has. Magic is imbued to this place.
Fair enough.
Once we rise to the surface, I'll retake my draconic form and we can be off. Till then, rest. He'll turn and walk back into the destroyed city. Anyone have any camp activities they'd like to do?
Rond is going to take what he has for his pack and what Sprout has for her pack and construct like a papoose so that they can put it over themselves and have the eggs on both the front and the back, but have their hands free.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Sprout is very appreciative.
Ophi, you want to take your hand at repairing some stuff?
Just the one. Yeah, I think it's either that or the other thing is that I'm very low on inventory points. So it might be better spent exploring the city, and honestly Ophi's in kind of a mood. So that might be the way that it goes with that. Just to try to because I have the camp activity to explore and potentially recover inventory points that way.
How many inventory points do you have?
No, none.
None?
I am out.
I
I
have
am out.
I have 2, so I could help you.
I am also happy to gift my 2, since we're going into
I
a
have
city where they
3.
can be replenished.
I guess you're gonna have to talk to Ophi then.
Are you in a mood to take them?
Yeah, that's kind of the question. Is like,
Oh,
well, if you're offering,
Ophi's-
because Ophi's not asking.
Ophi's in a mood, all right, just not.
I mean, if somebody has these, I guess the amulets probably are the things that need repairing. If somebody asks them to do it, they would do it. But
So not so much like
doesn't seem like anyone wants to take them.
in Drawn's way of asking, I guess, Drawn will sit down with some of those amulets and be like, let's repair these. And then like look at Ophi for like, I guess like guidance on like how to repair them.
Ophi is very confused.
That's
Drawn
what
does
Drawn
not
does.
like Ophi. Drawn has never liked Ophi.
Oh, Drawn is distrustful and he doesn't know whether or not he doesn't know what to think. So
I mean, here's the thing. If an action is asked of Ophi, it will happen. So yeah, they will sit down absolutely and try to, pop one of these bad boys open, see how it works, try to tinker with it and fix it, and like show Drawn how that works. But they are very confused the whole time. Just like there's like half a little like raised eyebrow, but they're taking this as a failing of understanding on their part. There's something going on between everybody that I don't fully understand, and that's on me.
There's this unspoken silence, and everyone's
Yeah.
just not acknowledging it, and Ophi's just like, what?
It's like, I don't want to get yelled at for asking. Okay, this is fine.
Seeing the 2 of them working on it, I will just kind of quietly drop off some of the like spare parts I have for my Ambris in case it gets damaged on a job. I can get more soon, so that's how I'll contribute my 3 IP.
So yeah,
I think there's just, I don't know, like rote sort of thank you without even looking up. And they're like, they do not mean to do this.
So you're using the Camp Forge activity.
Yes. Which
Can
Let's
repair a
see.
damaged item owned by the group, or create a single basic weapon, armor, or shield of your choice. Or you can destroy a single piece of equipment owned by the group to obtain material whose value is equal to the cost.
so I don't know how many, if any, like actual IP that action takes.
Huh?
I think I think it was just between that and replenish the store that Ophi would normally have.
I mean,
But
I suppose with the rareness of something like this, if you're okay throwing a 1 IP cost onto adding the necessary components to get it functioning, I'd be cool with that.
I mean, that's the thing. They're not my IP points, so that's not my call.
I've already thrown in my 2.
Take my stuff, do it.
Yeah, I've given mine as well. So
Drond
I
is
will
kind
hold
of
on to them.
curious as they're working on these, like what it would take to just have Ophi implant one of these, like on herself.
Oh,
Certainly possible.
it would definitely go better on me than you.
But yeah, the two of you can just take a couple hours, occasionally taking some time to get some food, maybe catch just a little bit of sleep. But the astral communicator pendant is pulled apart, all the burnt out components are removed. Just quickly, torch down some gold and forge it into new gears and coils that you can re-add. And you have 3 working communicators. Any other camp activities?
I've had an emotional roller coaster of a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's been kind of all over the place. So I am resting, and while resting, I'm going to use my camp activity Daydream. Just thinking about certain party members who are not here.
Ooh.
Cadence has a crush.
Cadence and Echo sitting in a tree. Yeah. So once before your next rest, if you would lose HP for any reason, you can just choose to have it. Very useful
The
camp activity.
power of feelings.
Sprouts, got anything?
I had taken the double portion camp activity. Did how was Drawn after the last fight? Did you get hit pretty bad, or were you okay?
That's pretty good.
Then I will
You got
designate
hit
my.
like once.
Okay. I will designate myself. So
Yeah.
if I'm about to recover hit points, I can double that
Beautiful.
1 time.
And Drand, there was no specific activity, you just wanted to assist Ophi. Okay.
I do need to roll for my instability. See if I recover those.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. I will recover 3 of them.
Sprout, as you are resting, ever since you went to go find Ignisareth and really ever since you have been dealing with the Dune Dragon and the eggs, that voice in the back of your mind has cooled it. You recognize that you're going through a lot, that you care very much, and has stopped the constant badgering. But once you have some time to sit and think, you would hear a pipe back up. Really? 2 Dune Dragon eggs. Do you have any idea how to take care of a Dune Dragon?
Of course I don't, but I also didn't have any idea on how to take care of a very terrifying Esper person, and I saved your life.
It's the sweetest thing anyone has ever said to me.
Tracks. Look, no, I don't know how to take care of them, but I wasn't gonna let them die, and you're not deaf. You know I wanted one of these.
Yes, you want every creature we come across.
Well, they're friend shaped, so I want them to be my friend.
Don't know what friend-shaped means, but anyways. So what is your plan? We sit and find some place to call home until they hatch? Can't bring them adventuring.
I know, I know. I I don't know, maybe there's like some kind of a somebody that can watch them for me until they're a little older. I want you to know, Hoop, that my thought is Professor Oak from Pokemon.
Quick question on that though. Do these creatures bond when they hatch or no?
Oh, absolutely. That's why they make such good mounts, because they will fight to the death to make sure that their riders get to safety.
Do I know how close these things are to hatching? Can I ask Ignisara if they have a sense of when these things will hatch?
He has no clue.
So-
These creatures did not exist when he
Okay.
was last free in the world.
Well, I guess we just hope that they hatch in the next, I don't know, however long. And then once they like me, we'll figure it out from there.
Well, our rest is
That
had.
was at Mora, to be clear. That was not directed at you,
Oh!
Hoop. The snark was not at you.
No, I thought that it was out to the party.
Oh, no. I was still
Okay.
talking to Mora. I just wanted to be clear.
um, yeah, I mean, you'd probably get silence back.
Okay.
Not like distraught silence, but like, yeah, she really hadn't thought of just finding someone you trust and leaving them there.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hold on to these eggs, and if anybody in the party wants one of them to imprint upon them when they hatch, I will allow it, but one of them is mine.
We
Well,
need an incubator.
really, they're meant to sit out in the desert sun. They're pretty hardy. With our rest had, our health recovered, our status is finally removed, which technically, by the rules of the game, some of you have been just burning to death this entire time, but now we finally get rid of that condition. We just, it's fine. I feel like that's a great place for us to take a break, give everyone a chance to stretch your legs, grab a drink, and we'll come back as we finally depart from this dead city and make our way through the desert. Making our way. We'll see you soon, everyone. And welcome back. As we go to definitely the screen I meant to, but now I'm realizing this is the screen that we should be on, because this is the map of Priya Shaped, Magitechocracy. We've ventured, I mean, honestly, a fraction of the distance between Abark and Strei'Ah. But as we finish our rest, as the city itself unburrows from the sand, our dragon companion retakes their massive draconic form, now much stronger, their power just radiating out.
Did we find out how to contact them when we want to cash in on our favors?
No.
Cool. Cool, 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 cool,
You
cool.
could give them an amulet.
Thanks. How many do we have that work? 3 right
3.
now? I mean, I technically don't need one right now, so if one of you is willing to go without, only because I have my navigator feature, so I could reach out as long as we're within a day of each other.
Well, these work even across planes.
Well, Hoop, I'm trying to make sure that we can talk to a dragon, okay?
Yeah, and talking to a dragon would be kind of cool to like
Fair.
have that on deck.
That's up to
And
y'all,
I mean,
though.
maybe here's the thing. Maybe having seen one of those, I could build one of those into myself.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's true, but I can believe it as much as I'd like.
I mean, do we know that he's going to be wandering the sand?
He has not told you what he's going to be doing.
Can I ask
Yeah,
him
does he
if he's
even want
going
to
to
talk
be?
to us?
Yeah, like
Does he even
Any
like us?
time that you would try to allude to trying to find out what he's doing or straight up ask, what are you going to be doing? He would either be evasive, dismissive, or straight up tell you that it is none of your business.
well, here's to hoping that coincidences line up, my guy.
Are you offering one of the amulets?
I mean, Ophi would not be opposed, but that is a community decision.
I mean, we rarely split into more than 2 groups anyways, so I think we can afford to give one up.
Is he gonna just break it or leave it somewhere?
Oh.
Okay. He kind of seems like a punk, so I just want to make sure that we're not gonna give him this gift, and then he's gonna be like, "Yeah, fuck these guys. I'll
You
find
could-
them when I feel like finding them."
You could always call in your favor and, have him tell you what he's going to be doing as your favor.
Shan't. But thank you for the suggestion, Drond.
Okay. Well, we load up all of you. Now, there is no saddle. There's no, platform for you to stand on. You are simply holding on to the back of a dragon as he takes off up out of the protective dome of this city and into the air. There just seemed to be some manner of protection of wind and temperature, some magical barrier that's at least not going to let you suffocate due to the high-speed travels. But who would like to roll our very first travel roll?
I can take it.
Might be the best person to take that, actually. Yeah.
We'll see. 1d6,
gator.
2d6.
D6, just one.
That's a 4.
A 4. It's fairly uneventful. And in fact, I'm going to use an idea that was given to me. Second. Should have bookmarked this website. Haha. Aha! Don't you dare make me look bad.
Part of aha, do you not understand?
I'm going to give you 4 adjectives. Sprout. I want you to pick one and simply describe the scene according to that adjective as we pass through this day's worth of travel. They are mature, cultured, momentous, and probable. Choose one and just describe the scene.
I'm going to go with momentous in that the sands are sprawling and we have a perspective that we have probably never had before, I would imagine, collectively and individually, as we are soaring above this new kingdom country for most of us, on the run, uh, with perhaps the last dragon ever. Like, all of this is very much a momentous occasion that I think, at least for Sprout and probably for a few of the others, is going to be with them for the rest of their lives.
Even passing by like flocks of just these large desert birds, these, scavenger type birds that would fly in close to see what exactly this creature is, and even coming by to land on his back, and no fear from any of you whatsoever, would simply come up, and if you're eating something, would just try to, take it out of your hand. Zero fear in their bodies. But that's our first day of travel. Second day. Who wants it?
I mean, I'll take it. I'll do it.
I thought for sure I was about to get a... Is it me, Jesus?
Is it me, Jesus?
Go for it.
I said 2?
A 2. The only numbers that really matter are a 1 and a 6. Your
It's not
adjectives
scary at all.
are educational, gruesome, noisy, or handsome.
Interesting. I feel like in the spirit of Ophi, I have to take educational, right? I feel like it just makes sense. She would turn anything into lecture time. And I feel like sort of operating under a similar thing as the previous day, when like there's all these like birds and stuff sort of swarming around and just not even caring. I feel like the next day, like Ophi has kind of cooled off a little bit, and it just turns into a like, oh, and this creature is this, and the scientific name is this, and no, don't feed it that, it doesn't eat meat. And like, so there's like whoever will like sit and listen, they'll just sort of like try to identify as many things as possible. And I feel like there's definitely moments where like not a whole lot is known outside of Priashate about Priashate.
Mm-hmm.
They're fairly secret, especially with the way that the borders currently are everywhere. So I feel like it also kind of might turn into a little bit of like Cadence piping up with like, oh, this is not that kind of bird, it's a different one, they look the same but it's definitely not. Or like explaining things that like are specific to that area, and like maybe a little bit of like prepping the group for when we touch down, like this is not where you have been in the past, this is how you need to act here. So it's this sort of preparing.
Second day of travel goes by. Once day 3.
All right. Let's see. That is a 1.
1.
Well, it was fun, everybody.
That is an unexpected discovery.
Oh.
At the morning of the 3rd day, as the sun is rising, the cold is finally starting to wash away. Ignisar's wings have actually kind of built up frost endpoints, but now it is all just melting off. Those of you that are up and more morning people would see a column of smoke rising up, not too far off course. Hard to tell what exactly it is from here, but you can certainly see a lot of machinery.
Do we want to investigate? Do any of us have a map where we can actually tell where we are, and then we can just mark it on that map, and then does it look like it's moving at all?
If anyone had a map, it would probably be Cadence.
I think Cadence has a map, but does she have a map of Priashate? Because she's traveled it enough.
That would also be something that you probably wouldn't want to fall into strangers' hands.
Yeah. I think she has maps of other countries, but I don't think she has a map of Priashate on her.
Fair.
We could check it out. It's off course and not really any of our business, though. But if
I mean,
people are interested.
if you don't want to, it's just like it. Does it look like the column of smoke is moving, or is it just chilling?
It is stationary.
Can we ask the dragon if the dragon knows what's over there? I don't know if we can ask him while he's flying. That might be distracting.
If he has an amulet, you absolutely can.
I mean, doesn't he have all of the amulets on his person currently?
Technically, they are all on his person.
I don't think he could wear one right now, Hoop. To get a really long chain.
I mean, it's especially Sprout. Sprout can very easily communicate.
I was gonna say, I am happy to ask. Any idea what the plume of smoke is over on the side?
World is very different to me, but it looks like some contraption, some metal amalgamation is broken down. It's pilots attempting to get it fixed, but couldn't tell you if they're having any luck.
Should we go see if they need help?
I'm surprised you're the one who wants to help, John. You didn't want to help the others.
Drond does what Drond does.
This is true.
That's Magitech that's broken down over there, which means there could be answers.
Can't hurt to do a good turn.
Very well. Assuming that this is relayed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, how open is Sprout about the fact that Sprout is inside the dragon's head?
Communicating with the dragon, very open. Mora is the only person that Sprout is very secretive about. Not effectively secretive, but will not own up to.
Good to know. Good to know.
You all feel the momentum kind of shift as your path is diverted ever so slightly. But I also land a ways away so that you can walk.
Will you be here when we return?
I will.
It'd probably be safer for you if they don't know that there's a dragon roaming in the deserts, I would imagine.
With that, even as he lowers, the sand kind of whips itself into a frenzy. Anyone that happened to be watching this area would only really see a sandstorm. As he lands, gives you all a chance to disembark, and then takes back off up.
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna leave the eggs with him. I have named them, but I will not share until they hatch. But I would like the audience and those at the table to know that their names are excellent. I've been thinking about it the whole time.
I think Ophi was about halfway through. Would you like to come with? Okay. This is fine.
That
You
sandstorm
can be a person.
very quickly it recedes, and you are left to the harsh conditions of the desert sun.
shall we?
Let's go.
All right. The smoke, especially as you get closer and closer, you're noticing, is definitely more chemical. It is... Whatever this is, it seems to be more on the experimental side. It's not using your typical modes of transportation, your typical machinery. Whatever this is probably out here without permission to do so. Is there any plan for approaching them, or is it just, hey, what are you doing?
I mean, that was my plan. Is I'm just gonna kind of like lazily like walk up and be like, "What's going on here? What you doing?"
I think if it smells like chemicals, Ophi's like sort of doing the mental math of like, is this thing going to explode? Is this thing like can I tell in what way it's busted if it smells like this? Like, I don't know if that is anything that they would know, but I think that's the mental math that they're trying to do.
But there's no attempt at stealth.
Not out here, no. I don't think it'd be too successful. As we approach, I will watch for flags, insignia, heraldry, anything that symbols anything that might tell me if there is a danger or if I have any sense of who this person is, who they might belong to, or anything like that.
Once you get within their eyesight, it really could have gone either way of whether they were excited to see individuals or suddenly got aggressive. One of them does kind of hop up on this, steel chassis and start waving and jumping down excitedly. As we get within shouting distance, you hear one of them call out, Hey, I don't know what you're doing out here, but I'm not gonna question it. You wouldn't happen to have, I don't know, an entire engineering factory worth of tools and supplies with you?
Oh yeah, no, I just carry that in my back pocket.
Oh, good. They said that they have it. We're good. And the guy that's, jumping on it just, oh, okay, and then hops off.
You carry tools?
No, I don't think these people understand sarcasm.
Mm.
Wait, Ophi, do you understand sarcasm?
Yes, I do know what sarcasm is.
Okay, I want you to demonstrate sarcasm for me, Ophi.
I think this is an excellent idea.
Josh is going to be like, fair enough.
Was that sufficient?
That's perfect.
Thank you. We should help them. That was not sarcasm.
Oh, I love Ophi so much. But yeah. By the time you get up to it, they have pulled open the cockpit of this contraption, and it kind of looks like a mechanical spider, but only 4 legs, and it looks more glidey than walky. The technical terms, of course.
Ophi is straight up just walking right up there and looking into it and trying to figure out what's wrong with it. 100%.
What are you two doing out here exactly?
Experimenting, obviously. What are you doing out here?
Helping.
I suppose you are. Okay. And they're both very much wrapped up, kind of from head to toe, as to not get absolutely baked by the sun. One of them does pull down their mask And they are surprisingly young, like maybe 19, 20 at the latest. Very clearly from Strei'Ah or one of the other nearby cities. Not that any cities here are nearby each other. But you don't see any markings that would denote any sort of factions or allegiance. So those tools. You... Right, if we borrow them? Oh, give them back. Just want to get this old girl up and going again.
Ross just gonna kind of stand there and just kind of like pinch his nose. He's just like, you really, we're wandering in the desert. Do you not understand sarcasm?
Why would anyone be sarcastic out here?
What is this thing?
It's kind of secret. We haven't exactly gotten permission from the council or anyone to work on this, so can't really tell anyone. But we were experimenting with some of the Sandstrider technology, and we think that we maybe found a way to compact those machines in very safe ways. I promise you, this was an outlier. This has never happened before. As there's just like this little internal explosion in front of Ophi.
And what guild are you with?
That's the thing. This was going to be our application. We may have been turned down a few times, but once they see our perfected technology, they're going to be fighting over us.
Yes, it looks like quite the application.
Thank you. See? Like, kind of like smacks his brother in the shoulder. See, there are people out here that appreciate our genius.
I just get drawn to glance.
So, what exactly can we do to help you guys get this up and running again?
Well, if you don't have the tools and the parts, mind
I'll lend you tools.
and if we tag along, I guess we can come back out once we get all the proper tools. We'll bury this in sand for the moment.
Yeah, tagging along isn't really going to be an option.
What
Why?
were you doing when it broke?
Well, piloting it.
Did you hit something? Or did it just like...
Did it
Oh.
overheat?
Might have overheat. Heated? Overhotted? I mean, we accounted for its internal temperature, but maybe spending a few days in the sun did boil some of the chemical components. We'll have to probably double the casing. Oh, that's gonna make it so heavy. You have to add extra legs. But then that's gonna require more components, which requires more casing, which requires extra legs. See why those Sandstriders are so big.
I think at this point they're like muttering between themselves. Ophi's like, this is unhelpful, and just like dives like full torso into the chassis of this thing, just trying to figure out what's going on. Like, are they using like BS chemicals that are not like, is there something else that they could be doing? Like,
It does look there are vials, and it is all running through their version of an engine, where the chemicals are meeting, causing a chemical reaction, converting into a new chemical and into gas, and that is getting electrified, and that's causing power, and then it kind of all cycles back into itself. But yeah, it just looked like the entire thing overheated, half of it's melted, all or most of the chemicals are gone.
Okay. Ophi, what do you see in there?
Mess.
Helpful.
Definitely overheated.
What can we repair, or do we really need to go get tools?
Well, I guess if we kind of strip to its base components, I mean, it'd be slow, but at least get us back to town. Get it back into the garage. Be working
Okay.
on just archaic magical power. Just really child's play. Almost embarrassing to have to rely on.
It's more
And
embarrassing to overheat in the desert, I think.
how long would it take you guys to get back to town?
Oh, if this thing working at maybe 10% capacity, 3 days?
Do you have the rations for that?
Oh, of course. We come prepared for everything. Almost
Okay,
everything.
so
Except this.
10% capacity. What if someone were to help you keep it cool? Would that increase your travel time at all?
Yeah, that would certainly let us bump up the power a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna pull Cadence aside and just be like, you guys could go back with Ignis, and I can travel to the city with them, help them keep this cool, and we can meet up when I get there.
If that's what you want to do, it's noble, I think, to help them, but this isn't sanctioned by any of the guilds. So before you get back to the city, split off from them.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Hate to see you arrested.
Fair enough. I'm gonna turn back to them and kind of like show them that like I can create ice with my hands. And I'm gonna look at both of them and be like, I will help you keep this cool and get you back to the city on one condition.
Anything.
When you guys are successful in creating your guild, you name that guild Ognapoir.
Needing a guild. I hadn't thought of that. We don't need outside approval if we just fund our own inventions, right? And of course, the other brother has not said a word. They have just been staring. Any conversation has been between this one brother and himself.
Can I get a read on that other brother?
He's just tired. He's
Mm,
It looks
that's a
like
mood.
he said probably every single time that they wanted to bring this out, it's not gonna work, it's gonna overheat, I swear to all the gods, this is gonna fail, and they did it anyways, and here they are. Oh, I don't... Horrible manners. I'm so sorry. I didn't get your names.
Correct.
What
Pops down into it.
what are your names?
I'm Drond.
Rond. Is writing this down in a notebook.
Kodrin.
Oh, how do you spell that?
However you want.
Okay. There's a moment where he looks at you, Cadence, and then the eyes kind of shift down. I guess I should ask you if your insignia is currently out and showing still.
No, because I don't think I was wearing it in a bark, so I haven't put away currently.
Yeah. Look at you. And your name, dearie lady?
I am best left unnamed.
Best left unnamed. Is that all one word?
Sure.
Odd names. And you down there?
Uh,
Oh,
their name is Geneva.
With a J or with a G?
With a J.
Jen Eva.
because Aofi like pops back up, looks at Cadence, is probably gets a don't, and just pops back down.
See, Jen is a very, very pretty name. The rest of you should work on that. Um,
That is not how we talk to friends.
isn't it? Maybe that's why I don't have more friends. Anyways, I am Orliv, and this is my brother Wibbler.
Well, it's nice to meet you.
Most
Let's
people
get
just
this.
call us the Sparkwright brothers.
Well, Sparkrites. Let's get you guys up and running, and I will help you keep this cool until you get back to town.
Great. We'll throw it into some emergency override. You know, I'm just gonna eject the engine. It's kind of melted anyways. We'll
I would
make
not
do.
recommend that.
Alright, I guess we'll keep it. And the entire thing starts to very lopsidedly get to its feet. A hatch in the bottom opens up and a little, like, rope ladder just comes tumbling out.
That is Ophi, who is still in there.
After you, Drake. No, sorry. Grant.
Yep.
See, this is why we take notes.
I will go ahead and climb up the rope ladder into the. I'm assuming it's the cockpit.
It is going to be a little crowded with 3 people, but not too bad. And they
I'm
will.
gonna toss John one of the amulets.
Thank you.
Where did you
I
get
will,
those? That is. You must be important.
You could say that. I'm from the north.
I did say that.
And yeah, let's just leave things on a need to know basis right now.
Like north of here?
Like the North Pole.
There's a lot of poles.
Okay. I am from where it's very snowy and cold all the time.
Oh! I still don't know where that is.
Fair enough. Not a lot of people do.
Okay. Follows up right behind you. Also, Rollstream, thank you so much for the follow. We heck of it. But the rest of you, as this thing starts walking, it is walking at a pace that you could easily keep up with at your normal walking speed. But it is slowly headed off towards anything the 3 of you left behind would like to do.
I mean, once we're in the clear, call our better ride.
Ophi, I would say that there are enough materials left from the explosion that you could probably spend a couple minutes salvaging and come up with my die. Ooh. 19 zenny worth of supplies. Worth of just
Nice.
scrap parts.
Should I put that as Zenny or translate that to IP?
I mean, if you wanted, for you, that would translate pretty easily into IP.
I cannot carry 19 IP.
I
I
mean,
don't know a man among us who could carry 19.
it
Yeah.
would
Or what, it's
basically.
like, I think that's 2.
I can never remember how much IP costs to
I
refill.
think it's 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it
think
is.
it's 10.
So yeah, it would add 2 IP.
Okay. Cool. Excellent.
Superior Mount comes gliding back down, kicking up that sandstorm. We once again climb on back. For our last day of travel, actually cut the music.
Hey, now.
As it is mostly uneventful. Those glass towers getting closer and closer. Until everyone is ready to get some rest. As much rest as you can get riding on the back of a dragon. And I am actually going to ask Sprout how they would react as you are finally starting to nod off. And then it feels like there is just a red hot scalpel just kind of carving at the back of your.
Oh shit. Um, I am. Sprout would sit up very quickly with a yell and kind of grab the back of their head and turn around and see if there's anything on the ground, anything that would have externally that would have triggered that. Uh, Kian, as a player, I assume that this is something internal, but Sprout would not think that first.
All of you are just awoken just by the scream of pain, and Sprout just trying to look around, searching for something on the back of this dragon, and looks like every couple moments almost slipping into unconsciousness and then snapping back into it and continuing to just look.
Sprout, what's going on?
Uh, I don't know. I can't. Whenever I try to fall asleep, it's like there's something stabbing me. I don't know. I don't see anything on the ground. I don't. Uh,
Another jolt of pain, and there's a scream, not external, but inside your head, Sprout. As Mara is also screaming in pain.
oh shit. Uh, I will turn away from everybody else and try to reach out to her. What the hell is going on?
I don't. I'm. And then another just ear piercing scream. And then it just cuts. Hello, dear Sprout. I
Who the
hope you
hell is
don't
this?
mind me calling you that.
Who is this?
Think that's any of your concern. Been holding someone that should be mine. I've come to take them back.
Um, you can't have her back. I need her here.
Don't think I care.
Does this sound like the big scary person? What? Um, I would like to just fully fuck, I don't know if this is gonna work. I just wanna sink fully into the network and see if I can, like, see something, if there's a visual on who this is or where Mora is or anything like that.
Give me a willpower roll.
I guess.
Target
Uh,
number 13.
shit, hoop. Those are not my best dice. Well, that's a 5, so,
I will offer you a deal. You'll succeed, but it's gonna hurt.
um, what is everybody else doing?
I think kind of crouched next to you, making sure you're not gonna fall off his dragon.
I think Ophi's doing the sort of first aid thing again. Like, okay, head on the temple. You said it sounded like it felt like you were getting stabbed. Okay, are you bleeding anywhere? Like, trying to triage this. Um,
Um, knowing that I have people around me, I'm gonna push for it. I would like to succeed at this.
Okay.
I'm gonna trust the people around me to take care of me because I don't like this.
It's 28 points of damage.
Holy shit. Uh, okay. I am just above crisis. 1 point above crisis.
And it's less of like you're dunking your head as it has been before, where you just kind of get a glimpse, and more like you just got shoved out of your body and are seeing this from an outside perspective of your own body huddled over in pain, clutching your head. Mara being held by the throat above you, and someone dark, pure anger, just standing over the two of you, smiling.
Um, can I move toward this person? Or, like, is there a sense of, like, physical movement, or am I just stuck kind of watching?
Have a small sense of control, but not so much as to kind of interfere physically, more of just you barely are holding on as it is.
Um, uh, 5 plus 0. That doesn't seem right. Uh, so just to see what happens, because of my psychic backlash ability, they would
Mhm.
take 6, damage to their mind points. I just wanna see if there's any physical reaction. I can't imagine that there's gonna be, but
They would stare down at you once again, their gaze kind of shifting from Mara to you. Interesting. So she imparted a little knowledge onto you. Not enough to help you, but enough to get you killed.
yeah, well, she's not fucking done teaching me, so
That's so. Then make me let go.
I I don't know how to do that.
No, you don't. This world isn't for you. The world is for those that have studied their lives, that have been born into this power. Someone that thinks that they can just learn it overnight.
When we were in the fight, I at one point, I, like, used the well, fuck, no, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I am so stressed.
He's gonna
Um,
reach down as if he was to grab you by the throat and just pulls. but your body doesn't lift. That Esper energy that you call on does. And turns to look at your kind of astral projection. You get to live because you're too weak for me to kill.
Do I feel that? Do I feel that happen?
At
Like
the,
in where I am now?
at the moment, you're so fully separated that whatever is happening to your body, it's like it was a different person.
Did I see it happen?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
was there any visual? I
absolutely.
think as soon as it happens, fuck, I'm so stressed. I think Sprout starts screaming. I please don't take that away. I don't want this without those powers. Like,
And you are ripped back to your body.
son of a bitch.
That pain finally subsides.
Um, I'm picturing myself kind of in a fetal position. Um, and both hands on the ground now. No, not fetal, but like whenever you're in a fetal position but flipped over. So I'm on my knees and I'm kind of
Mhm.
bent over. Both hands on the ground, and Sprout does not move, does not say anything. So I'm looking at chat.
Yeah, Cadence just sits there quietly with you. I think a hand on your back. Not really sure what to do in this moment.
Opie's still trying to figure out what's wrong. And if Sprout can't tell them, then they're just gonna try to figure it out from the outside.
I'm gonna fuck. I don't want to know. I know the answer. I'm gonna try and reach out to either one of them through the Esper network.
No connection.
Son of a bitch. Um,
To us?
I'm gonna. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
To us?
I can't reach out to either of you. I'm gonna sit back, kind of on my knees, and is probably just trembling like leaf. I don't have it. I don't know what happened. I lost it. I can't. I I and Sprout is struggling to say it. There's a hollowness in them they have never felt before. Um, I can't. I can't. I can't connect to the network. Something is wrong. Something is. um, it's. I'm sorry. I didn't. I didn't mean to wake everybody up. I, I just. How how big is the dragon? I imagine pretty large.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm going to stand very shakily and move away from the group, and just try to find. I don't want to be near anybody right now, and I'm just going to kind of uh, just get away from Ophi and Cadence.
We should help.
I don't think we can. This isn't a physical ailment.
I was gonna say that um, your dragon friend would reach out to ask what the disturbance was, but the one that he was communicating with can't communicate anymore.
Yeah, I think Sprout doesn't sleep. days awake, just exhausting themselves, trying to reach out and find something of their Esper powers.
So, Kyle did mention in the chat that Sprout has the ability, once they take damage, that they can get info about the thing that did damage, right?
You're right, I do. I have a painful lesson.
Fitting.
What does that tell you exactly?
After another creature causes me to lose HP, I may immediately perform the steady action on that creature for free. And if I do, I get a bonus equal to the skill level, which is just 1. So I get a +1 to a steady action.
Yeah, if you'd like to.
So that insight, I think. Pretty sure that's what steady is.
Let's take a look. Study is typically insight.
Um, could I bargain for insight willpower just out of sheer force of will
Absolutely.
of how I was pushing for it? Oh my god, if there's ever a day in my life to roll well, it's not today. That's a 5. Plus 1 is a 6.
You still have a hero point that no one spent.
Hell yeah. Well, I have a
True.
Fabula point because I didn't start with any.
That too.
So I will use a Fabula point. I'm gonna use my bond with Mora.
Aw.
I hate this. This is awful. Hoop. I don't want to use those dice again because they didn't help me. Ooh, that's a 9. 10 with the
10.
bonus.
That does matter. So a 10 would give you a complete answer to your question with no room for doubt.
I want to know. I want to know where they went. I want to know who took it and where they went.
Studying for
I want to know how to get it back. I don't know, Hoop. Give me as much information as you can.
sitting for just a moment, thinking, trying to call on Mara, on that power, on the soul network, any of it. And 99% of it coming back with nothing. Until there's just a glimpse. A little message in a bottle sent from Mara, showing you this outside perspective of her being tossed to the floor. A council of road figures presiding over where she lie. And it looks like she's on trial.
Um, does this look physical or somewhere in the network?
In the network.
Uh, anything identifiable about the people that are putting her on trial or about the space?
You've seen these robes, at least in some of your foyers into the Soul Network. So most of your journey has kind of been just exploring the immediate vicinity, but there's times where you've pushed it further and you've seen these almost reapers that very quickly usher you out of this space before you get caught. And it looks like once an Esper dies, this is where they go. This is where they're supposed to go, at least.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
Which is good news and bad news. Good news is that you physically have the ability to go there if you can just find a way into the Soul Network.
Yeah.
Bad news is that you need to find a way into the Soul Network.
Okay. Yeah. Sprout is just gonna spend the night awake, thinking about this.
The message does end with Mara's voice.
Oh fuck.
Don't come looking for me.
Bitch ass. Sorry. Sprout would. I got a lot of beef with her right now. Sprout would just say back, "Don't tell me what to do."
Amazing. Well, last day of travel comes to an end. You feel your dragon companion descending. They kick up that sandstorm one last time, lean down to let you all climb off. Know how to reach me. I will not forget what you've done. Favor is still yours.
Do you know how to access the Soul Network?
Soulmate. I'm unsure of what this is.
Whenever I ping you in your brain, do you know how to do that on your own?
That's simply astral communication.
Could I could I go somewhere to astrally communicate?
Suppose. Why would you want to? Place is not for the living.
Yeah, I'm getting the sense of that. There's just something I need to take care of.
If it will satisfy the favor between us, I will find a way to get you there safely.
Not yet. I might need your help with something else.
You are peculiar mortals. I hope you survive your trials to come.
I'm not sure what your plans are from here, but the people that live here now are not the ones who chained you. Please don't bring your quarrels with those in your past to the cities that lie here now.
That's yet to be determined. For now, I have others to call on. Not out of anger or war. Friends I wish to see are still alive. That they'll kind of brace themselves, kick back off into the air, let that sandstorm fade off. So technically, you do still have one more day of travel. Not going to make you roll for it because we could roll a 1 or a 6, and either one could potentially spell trouble without half the party here. So, Cadence. I don't think you got any adjectives yet. You have ragged, jaded, ear splitting, or chilly.
That is an interesting group of adjectives.
I think we already got one of them.
You said ragged, jaded, ear splitting,
Or
and
chilly.
chilly. I think as we close the distance from where we are to the city of Strei'Ah, the temperature drops. And after days and days under the heat of the sun in the desert, the sea breeze that is blowing in is salty and almost chilly.
Yeah.
I think as the, the glistening towers continue to rise over us.
I mean, you're used to that, the night air hitting you and being cold as the desert kind of snap freezes every time the sun sets. But this is different. This is during the day. This is a almost comforting cold sea breeze that occasionally just washes over you and lets you know that you are home. Which means, of course, even as you were approaching the wall, there is a voice that just kind of materializes. Greetings, travelers. I apologize, but we don't seem to have you on the manifest for city entry today. If you don't mind, why have you come to the city today?
Personal business.
Personal business. I see that two of you have been registered in our system as guests. Those not registered, we'd appreciate if you could do so as soon as possible.
Just looking at Cadence like, what?
I said 2 people have been?
It was one, and then a small glitch, and then I meant two. Which for a automated system really shouldn't happen.
Yeah. Hmm. We'll be sure to do that.
And there's a moment where you just feel this pressure kind of leave. Like you were walking through a bubble and then finally it popped. The gates to the city open. These massive sandstone walls with runes just from top to bottom. All of which half of you know is meant to keep the city safe from the sun, from the wind, from the sand, from prying eyes, from outside magical influences. These walls are decades of magical research put into practice to keep Strei'Ah safe and to keep it separate from the rest of the world.
As we're walking through, I'm just gonna kind of call to the disembodied voice. How do I register as a guest here?
Comes back on. Hello, you can register at guest services.
I'm gonna look to Cadence and kind of nod over to Ophi. Since I, I would take that to mean that I am not. I am the unregistered one. I'm guessing.
Yeah, at that, I will ask, I think out loud. And you said 2 of us have been registered. How have we been registered?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Under what names are we registered?
There are not two of you registered. There's only. And then it just stops.
Hmm. We'll be sure to head to guest services, and I will lead the 2 of them through. Not in that direction at all.
The architecture of Strei'Ah is this beautiful blend of kind of more traditional desert architecture, absolutely interlaced with just streaks of magitech. In just sometimes it's so barely noticeable in like a sandstone pillar, but as you get close, you can feel the energy radiating off of it, or a horse that just walks through the street by itself and you realize it's fully mechanical. It's just walking in front of us. There's no one riding or driving this. It just does. Where are you headed?
I will keep us. So I don't want to be seen in the city yet, so I will keep us to alleyways and whatnot. And Ophi needs their hand fixed, so I will bring them to Zariel.
Pass by or underneath a lot of these towering structures. It's more of the trade district with more vibrant colors of both natural and unnatural shades, exotic aromas just drifting from everywhere, whether it's actual spices and food or oil and chemicals. Everything just kind of mixes. There are just rows upon rows of stalls selling artifacts or just selling pieces of machinery or little trinkets. There's also alchemical
We'll keep
vendors.
Close eye on Ophi.
That's fair.
And even just like street performers that would just come up to you, just like one just full on just summoning balls of fire and then just juggling them. 1, 2, 10, 20. They're just streaking up into the air.
There's like half a second where if he's like, "Oh, I can't," I'm not going. Just watching intently, just having the time of its life.
There'll be time to explore the market afterwards.
Promise.
You'd pass by a more ominous looking. It doesn't have the same color, the same grandeur. It looks very drab. There's a wide balcony set that kind of overlooks this entire district. And there's a handful of armed uniformed guards just standing up there. But we make our way deeper into this. Kind of past all of the more showy buildings, and we get to some of the more out of the way, more run down, I guess you could technically say, by the rest of the city standards, but run down in Strei'Ah is still absolutely gorgeous to most of the rest of the continent. The door to the bay itself is currently closed. What would you like to do?
I don't knock on the door. I think I go to a window that's a little ways down from the door and knock 4 times.
You can all.
And I will tell the others, Zariel is an interesting person.
You can all feel and hear the hum of energy coming from this place. That window was knocked on. A few moments later, it just kind of pops and then opens. You're here for the money. I promised you that I would have it by the end of the week. Also, how the hell did you know our secrets knock? I am now realizing I should not have opened the window.
You really should be better about your security.
A head pops up. Copper hair that flows into copper feathers. As a feminine face just pokes out. Is that really you? Is this another... what do they call it? Mirage from huffing on the chemicals?
I've talked to you about that before, but no, it's really me. Need some assistance, if you're free?
If it's really you, what did you get me for my last birthday?
Chemicals that I've regretted getting you every day since.
I don't remember if that's true, but it sounds right. Alright. The window shuts. The big garage doors just start to open bit by bit. There's half-finished pieces of machinery everywhere. Tools scattered just nonsensically across every bench, every counter. There's chairs that are just flipped upside down for no reason. And standing in front of you, at about 6 feet tall, kind of more on the sturdy side, again, copper color, going from just this short cropped hair straight into feathers that runs all the way down underneath this very simple silver and leather engineer's outfit. Ophi, you may never have seen one before, but you've heard of harpies.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I am very excited to meet this engineer.
And you brought friends. I should be a little insulted because I thought it was your only friend, but when you have been gone for a while, you would make new friends, you would replace me, it's fine. Come in.
You have not been replaced. This is Sprout and Ophelia. Ophelia
You're
is the
doing
one.
names.
Yes. Yes, we can trust Zariel. The two of us go way back.
Daria Emberwing.
Ophelia. And reaches out and just the skeleton of a hand. Of a mechanical hand.
You're... Like, looks in between Cadence and Ophi. You're...
Something that I would rather not get out.
Uh-huh.
You said we could trust this friend.
Yes, come in. I'm gonna shut the door. The moment that you're in, that garage door just bit by bit shuts back.
Oh, you don't have to tell Ophi twice. They're already inside looking at everything. Not touching, because they have been informed that that is not kind.
Okay. Many questions. But... No. That falls under the many questions. What can I do for you?
I just look over at Ophi.
I have been told that you are a skilled mechanic.
Skilled mechanic. Like, gestures towards everything in the room. Clearly proud of this mess. No, a skilled mechanic could build that door. They could make you a gun that fires, I don't know, bombs. I am an artist.
I do not think an artist can fix my hand.
Give it here.
I think there's a second where they debate, like, just, like, screwing it off at the elbow, and they're like, no, it needs to be, okay.
Like, holds out one wing, and from about the elbow joint, this kind of, like, extra appendage swings out. Clearly just like a added mechanical piece, and tools just kind of dangle from it. Alright. This is illegal. You should not exist.
I am not from here.
And as far as anyone is concerned, they do not.
Right. I didn't see you. Yes, we've been through this. But if I didn't see you, and if I wasn't asking where the hell you came from, what would you not tell me?
To Cadence for confirmation on what we can talk about.
They're going to keep asking you.
Yes.
I am from Avis Atis.
Yeah. They have this kind
Yes.
of technology there. That's concerning.
Not much. and I believe not anymore.
This raises so many more questions. Of course, all the while, like, your hand has kind of been opened up and, like, plates have been pulled and
Oh yeah,
opened.
Sophie's helping, like 100%.
Alright. And how did you get here? Last I heard, Cadence, you're not exactly welcome here.
Could you elaborate on that?
Feel like I maybe have said something that I shouldn't.
No, you should.
Are we wanted here as well?
Nobody knows you here. You're fine to be here. Perhaps this is something that we should talk about in private. I don't know how much you share with them.
Take a look at Ophi first, and then we can talk.
Right. And they'll get to work. Between the two of you, it would be some pretty quick patchwork. All the while, they are asking all of you questions, including Sprout, which we may or may not get any answers from Sprout at all.
I have set the 2 eggs down that I forgot I was carrying until we had already walked in here. But yeah, very, very short answers. The least amicable that the group has seen Sprout before. And you would probably see them getting frustrated in the corner because they keep forgetting and they're trying to contact Drond. But they don't want to ask for an amulet because they should be able to do this without one. So you would just see them kind of simmering in the corner, getting more and more frustrated.
I think Cadence is also being very quiet, looking not impatient, but definitely waiting for Zariel to be finished so she can find out what the fuck is going on.
So it's
Ophi's having the time of their life.
yeah, it's
Ophi loves
probably
this.
just Ophi and Zariel that are having a blast.
Yeah, I think there's definitely like some questions that like Ophi will like look over to Cadence and like wait for like a nod before answering. But I mean, especially like tech related questions, like how does this work, et cetera, et cetera. Like, oh yeah, 100%. This is for sure.
Yeah, even to the point where Zariel would start to get into their history, telling you that they come from across the ocean, having traveled here to escape a culture that really very much focuses on magic. Technology is kind of left to the waypoint, to the point where anyone that tries to imbue technology into their ways is kind of shunned. It's more taboo than anything. But their father was an engineer that came from here and found their mother, and next thing you know, Zariel's born. Never really felt welcomed or at home until they found their way here and have integrated into society and carved out their own little piece of paradise. Alright. Closes up the last bit of your hand. There. Be fully functional. Well, as functional as I could tell from it. There's a lot going on in that hand. It makes me want to open up the rest of you, honestly.
Would you like to?
Yes.
I don't know that this is the time for that. I have questions.
Perhaps later.
Alright. Stands up, kind of brushes themselves off. So, be somewhere private or just is here fine?
look at the other two. I'll be right back. Stay here. Don't set anything on fire.
It's
Do you
pretty
mind if I look around?
fireproof. You can. If you see anything interesting, feel free to tinker.
Thank you. Say less. Like, I'm done. I'm going.
I will walk into another room.
Yes, you have the questions.
What do you mean I'm not welcome here? What is going on?
Well, only in a very small sense in that they said that you stopped responding to messages and they assumed that you were either dead or a traitor.
Because I was on the run.
I didn't ask
I
for
gotta clear
details.
this up. I gotta clear this up. Okay. Can I leave those two with you for now?
The eggs or the companions?
All of the above.
Sure.
It's important that nobody finds out about Ophelia.
That's an understatement. Yes. You need a
I knew you
disguise.
did. No. I'm not going to sneak my way into the academy.
You know, perhaps I worded that wrong. You should take a disguise. Look, you are very good at what you do. Yes, I know you're amazing. I don't want you to get caught, perhaps face undue judgment before you have a chance to say your piece.
It's been a while since I've snuck in there.
But it hasn't been that long. We used to. That's not here, not there.
Alright, do you have an extra cloak I can use at least?
Look, it's as if you think that I haven't been here innovating and inventing. I should be hurt, honestly. Go on, say that you're sorry, that you underestimated me again.
I am sorry. I would very much appreciate anything you could allow me to help me sneak into the academy.
We'll kind of turn and just go rummaging through what looks like a full junk pile. Pull out just this little, about palm-sized device. There's little, like, legs that kind of reach down and attach. And you want it on your belt, on your back, a hairpiece maybe?
Hair will work.
Hair back, please. Down. Taps it a few times as it does nothing at first. Taps it again. And then it finally hums to life and just there's a sheen of just nothing. Blank features, blank clothes. There is nothing until you think of what you want it to look like.
Interesting. I will think of myself momentarily so I don't freak out the other two.
And because of your time dilation abilities, once per rest, for a few moments, you can either slow down or speed up time around. I did a little extra flair. I figured that someday you would remember I existed and come back and say hello.
I've been trying to come back. I've been on a mission for more than 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
I should go take care of this.
Go. I make no promises that I won't give your friend lots of weapons and bombs to play with.
That's fine. Just keep them out of sight.
Cool.
I'll step back into the other room. I need to go take care of something. I need to go talk with the High Scholar. I will be back. You two stay here. Try not to blow anything up.
He just pulls up a welding mask. I will do my best.
Oh, that is
you-
a good one. I'll give you the rundown of how that.
Do we have a little amulet to gift to Cadence? Because we had 3 that
don't.
work.
We only have one left. It's fine. I'll find you.
The
I know
friend
the
will be
city
coming
like the
back,
back of my
right?
hand.
John will be
Eventually.
coming back, right?
Like a day or two behind us.
Yeah.
Sprout.
You take this one, and I will fix the other one.
And
'Cause
we'll
we
be
have one that
here,
doesn't work.
so you don't need to.
Okay.
Everyone will know where we are.
That's true. You wouldn't be able to tell John where to go.
Yes, go,
So I
go,
will-
go, go. Stop worrying so much.
I will take it and I'll slip out into the alleyway and head for the academy. I will keep to areas that I think might be empty.
Yeah, you have been through these streets, sneaking or otherwise, probably hundreds of times, if not more. It would be no problem. As you are kind of ushered out, the door shutting behind you. Well, that was interesting. But yes, my home is your home. If there's anything I can get you, I don't. Do you drink water? We need to feed you?
Yes.
Right. And
I mean, we have You don't need to feed me, but we do. I do. Yes.
are you here to sell the eggs? Because doing dragon eggs, they do go for quite a bit.
That's not the plan right now. Do you know when these things are gonna hatch? By chance?
Probably find out for you. I am no trainer, but give me an hour or so. I can learn most things very quickly.
That'll be great. I'll be back in an hour then. I'm going to head toward the door.
All right, have fun.
Didn't Cadence say not to leave?
Yeah. Hang out here. I won't be gone long.
Didn't Cadence tell both of us not to leave?
Sprout is out.
Your friend will be fine. They're not wanted here. Honestly, the guards should not even care that they're here. If it makes you feel better, go follow them.
You said I was illegal.
Yes, there is technology inside of you that should not be in this form.
If Sprout is not wanted, they will be fine.
Very mean when it's sent back. I don't know your friend well enough to know if they're wanted or not. In the sense of a human relationship,
In a criminal way.
yes, in a criminal way, they are not wanted in the city, as far as I know. People pay me a lot to keep an eye on those sort of things.
That is good to know.
That I am paid by criminal factions to keep an eye on the wanted lists?
That we are not wanted here,
Oh yes,
but also that you know things.
I do. I invent and I know things.
You said you would learn about the eggs very quickly?
Yes.
Can I also learn?
What to learn?
Yes. I am a teacher. Learning and teaching is what I was built to do.
Had anyone want to learn with me before?
I have never had anyone who could teach me. Not in a while.
They just kind of take flight for just a moment to like dart across the garage, like just throwing stuff out of the way, grabbing piles of books and just hefting them back. Soon dragon, soon dragon, soon dragon. Ah, haha! I knew I had one. They're
Could you teach me to do that?
fly?
Yes.
We could maybe try to build in some wings or some boosters.
I think we could do that. And they like sort of transform the hand into like a sword or something. It just sort of like builds out a little bit. I think I could manage. And just puts it back.
Have you tried more complex weaponry?
Yes, I can do a projectile.
Like a full firearm?
That depends largely on your definition of firearm. Is there something I will not break if I shoot it?
Anything that you break in here, I can fix.
Pointing it away from the person. Yeah, and they will sort of like aim for like the far end of the room, some sort of like, I don't know, like a tin can full of screws, you know, that that an inventor is bound to have. And finger projectile.
Absolutely
Pew pew.
obliterates the can. A small shower of screws just come clattering to the ground.
There's like one missing. I will need to go get that.
It was so cool.
I will teach you how to work if you teach me about dragons, and maybe to fly.
I don't think my fingers can do that. Not yet. I am considering Magitech prosthetics, but it's a whole
You
process.
could perhaps build something outside of yourself. I would not recommend putting it inside what you already have.
I am very bad with people, so please tell me if this is if I am saying this bad. But you're very beautiful.
No, that grammar was correct.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was my grammar that I was asking. Yes. Yes. Well, we should start reading.
Yes.
And like going to get your finger and reattaching it, and the two of you would sit down and just like journal after journal of other, tamers that have raised dune dragons from an egg to adulthood is just laid out, and the two of you are left to do your research. And I think the last thing we would see would be Drand finally coming into the city under the cover of darkness as the Sparkwright brothers activates their like secret tunnel, which is just a bunch of rocks that have been pushed in front of an old mining tunnel, and then pull them back. The entire way, they have been absolutely talking your ear off, asking you questions about what is the North, what is it like to live in cold, what is it like to be in snow. And as much as you're willing to tell them, they are jotting down in a notebook.
Fair enough. Yeah, I tell them everything. I also, indulge in whatever questions they have and explain that, the reason why I've come so far south is because I'm looking for something, and that, my wife was murdered by what I suspect to be Magitech, but I'm not entirely sure. And yeah, I'm just out looking for answers.
Are you describing the weapon?
I'm describing what I know, which was the smell of like ozone after like lightning striking, and markings that look like straight burns from like lightning shooting like just straight forward.
That could be a lot of things. I'll look into it. That would be a pretty big event. That would be chronicled somewhere. Especially, did you mention the actual gauntlet?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially involving an artifact like that. I mean, ooh, that's probably in the archives somewhere, I would imagine. Yeah, you know what? When we get back to the city, we'll table this for now. Our Sandshard is not going anywhere. We have a pass that is probably still good to the archives. We'll go take a look and let you know if we find anything.
That would be much appreciated. I'm also gonna ask them, what kind of funds do you need to get your guild started?
Even think about that. That would depend if we could sell any of this idea, even just little bits and pieces. Probably need a new workshop. We'd need to hire someone to come and design a logo for us, and probably need a motto and a song. Do guilds have songs? We need to hire a songwriter or a bard.
Uh, I think if you start at the bare minimum and then as you grow, you can maybe look at expanding into some of that.
Guess first would probably be getting our actual guild license, which they only hand out 6 of those a year. We'd have to have something real impressive to get one of those.
Oh, how often do they check for forgeries?
I don't think there's ever been a forgery.
What if we could get you a forgery?
The idea is clearly so foreign to them that anyone would try to forge something like that. Their brains are just not computing.
I mean, how much would it cost to pay for the license outright then?
Oh, you don't have to pay anything.
Okay, so
You just have to prove that, you are contributing to the city and to society as a whole, and they just grant you your license.
okay, so then what can I do to help you achieve that?
We could probably use your old magic a bit more just to help make our system function better. You know what? We'll crack up some plans. We'll stay up. I mean, I don't remember the last time we slept, so it shouldn't be any problem for us to work through the night. Figure something else. You go do what you gotta do. We'll check the archives. We'll circle back around in a few days and let you know where we're at.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. You're not wanted, right? You're not gonna get arrested or anything, because we don't have the Zenny to bail you out.
I mean, I don't think I'm wanted here, but that's an entirely different story.
I'm sure we're wanted in other places.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think that I'm wanted here. I've never been here, so it would be very surprising if I was in trouble here before I ever got here.
That would be surprising, but not unheard of. Well, good luck. I hope neither of us dies before we meet again.
I will be sure to seek you guys out. And with that, I guess I will step away and use the amulet to reach out to, I guess, whoever would have it. I'm just like, hello? Hello? Where are you guys?
I think Cadence has the only functioning one.
Yes, and am I actively sneaking when I hear this? Because I can't answer it if I'm actively sneaking into the academy when Dran calls in, I can't answer that.
We should have left the amulet.
They couldn't have told him where to go.
This isn't like a mind thing? You can't just like answer in your noggin?
No, it is physically
No?
talking.
Okay. Oh, is it talking out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So it's up to you, Hoop. Is this before or after I get to the physical academy?
Why don't we give you a couple hours at the top of next session to see where we're at before you hear this message from Brand?
Fair enough.
Because the message you get back, if any, could vary wildly.
Wait. So if I have to talk into this, does that mean anybody can hear it?
Whoever is wearing it, it's like they were talking into your ear. But yes, anyone that
Okay.
was like shoulder to shoulder with you would overhear the message.
Gotcha.
But I feel with Rand being loosed upon the city, Sprout being loosed upon the city, with Ophi being loosed upon a well of knowledge, and someone who is as bad at flirting as Echo is, and Cadence possibly sneaking into prison? Question mark? I think that's a wonderful place for us to stop.
Were they flirting?
Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you to everyone that came by to help support us. Thank you, Neon Lights. We heckin' love you over there. Thank you for the raid. Thank you to Rollstream and the Grumble Cakes for the follows, and Motivated Jackal, and Fellstrike, and Roll for Felicity. Thank you all so much. I do want to go around as I remember to move scenes. There we go. Go around one more time, give everyone a chance to tell you who they are and where you can find them on the internet. We'll go same order as we do intros. I remember to kick up the music. And it means we are starting with Kit. Which I think both Kit and Ophi might be surprised that she was trying to flirt.
Fascinating. Not just a beautiful piece of machinery? Okay. All right. Okay, cool. This is fine. Hi, guys. I'm Kit. You can find me places on the internet at KitRollCause, same way it is somewhere around me. I have been your Ophelia for the evening and for many Fridays around here. Or Saturdays? What day is it? June has been a month, y'all.
I think it's September.
I think, right? It's gotta be by now. You can find me throwing hands in the Discord server. Link down below. But when I am not bothering people and throwing cat pics in the Lost Caravan server, you can find me Mondays on Chaotic Goat Productions, where we are testing out a new game called Cottages in Cerberus. If you like cottagecore vibes, if you like Monster Hunter, if you want to see some cozy things and not at all traumatic, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. I will be over there on Mondays for the foreseeable future playing a little ice cream wizard. And everything is fine and nothing hurts. On Wednesdays back here, you can find me doing some Locust, where we are the worst people imaginable. It is awful. It is corporate America, and they're getting their just desserts. So it is delightful and awesome. Next Thursday on also back here, we will be here with the Chaos Crew playing some Triangle Agency, which is delightful. Delightful little game if you like SCP sort of situations, but also like maybe a little goofy. It's very fun. And I believe next Sunday, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, we will be over on Bard Rock doing a charity stream. More on that as those things come out. Check the Twitter for additional announcements as I'm able to announce them.
Heck
That's
yeah.
me.
Up to... I'm sure there's an English word for this. But I feel like the person that most of the party, I should say, looks up to very much is hoping for your positive attention and yet is shattered when it is not reciprocated. Yeah.
True.
If there's not a word for that, there should be.
Yeah, I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. You can find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bunny and most other social media as well. As far as where to find me, Tuesday nights you can find me over on Ballad of the Seven Dice with Nostradamus Core Phantom Ice. That is our Lancer miniseries. I play a nuclear cavalier pilot, so come watch me maybe blow myself up at any given point in time. My mech is called Boiling Point because it is always on fire. Wednesday nights you can find me here with the Locust game playing an awful person. Yeah, they're getting what they deserve. There's not much more to say about that game. Sunday evening, you can find me over on Bard Rock with a game of Valor for charity. If you watched our Valor game over on Girls Run These Worlds, in the finale, we saw an alternate timeline version of my character. I will be playing that alternate timeline version in this charity game as a crossover. So if you saw Gently on the Wind and you want to hear more about that mysterious alternate timeline version of my character, come check it out. Of course, if you like Lancer, check out Response Team Omnicron, which is a Lancer actual play podcast. You can find us anywhere you normally get your podcast and on Twitter at RT Omnicron. If you like things like Digimon Survive, Digimon Tamers, episode 2 of Emergent Code is out now. You can find that anywhere you normally get your podcast and on Twitter at Emergent Code Pod. And of course, keep an eye on at Dareful Archives on Twitter for announcements around our Girl by Moonlight game, which is coming very soon. We will be announcing our cast next week, beginning of next week. I can say Kit is part of it as associate producer, producing alongside me. But for other information, keep an eye out on Twitter for our trailer when it comes out. Spectacular cast, definitely worth keeping an eye out for. But that is, yeah. I have other stuff too, but I'm really tired of talking. So just follow me on social media to see where else I am.
Heck yeah. Over to Fail.
Hey everybody, I am Fail Prime. I'm one of the founding members of Singularity Roleplay, where we have all sorts of amazing people doing all sorts of amazing things. In terms of what we've got coming up, I will be in Neon Lights. Breaking Neon tomorrow night, which is our City of Mist campaign that is currently ongoing. Following that, I will let Kian tell you all about that. We do have our charity stream coming up on Tuesday. We are running this charity stream all through the month of June. We also have Henshin coming up and King's Gambit coming up. If you want to follow me, you can find me at FailPrime everywhere, Twitch, Twitter, anywhere that it matters. And 9 times out of 10, I'm just going to spend my time trying to convince you that Tim Allen did indeed kill somebody. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it along.
Over to Kian.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kian. You can find me on Twitter at uptight_chiffon. Next up on Monday, I will be hanging out with APOC Chromatic. We are playing Girl by Moonlight there. Very excited about it. On Tuesday, I am part of the Camp Runners Cross campaign over on Singularity Roleplay. We're a bunch of queer kids. We have gone to summer camp. It's a slasher, so it's gonna be great. No, it's a lot of fun. It's a really phenomenal cast. Everybody brings their lived experience as members of the queer community, and it is a fundraising campaign, as Vale said. We hit our first goal last session, so definitely come and hang out. We're really excited about it. On Thursday, I will be over on Sorting Key for the finale of our Invisible Sun campaign, Fraying Threads. We're still trying to fight the angel. Here's to hoping it does not take all of us out. I will be hanging out here for our final Nova episode as well, coming up. I have so many feelings about that. What else am I doing? I have a couple of other projects coming up that I can't yet talk about, but I think that is me. Yeah, that's me.
I guess that just leaves me. I, of course, have been Andrew, storyteller for tonight's game and most games around here. if you want to come and roll some dice with us, I believe the casting call closes tonight for next month's games.
I believe that is correct.
There's a whole bunch of great games in the docket, including a lot of Call of Cthulhu, like a whole bunch of Call of Cthulhu, which I will only be there for like half of it, maybe even half of it. Our good friend Turkic Scented is going to be running a majority of it, who is a very wonderful storyteller. Very excited for it. But yeah, that's all I got. This has been amazing as always. I'll throw a raid over to our friends at High Shelf Collective. Speaking of Turk and running Call of Cthulhu. Sorry, Call of Cthulhu, as they have called it. But yeah, as always, be good people, do good things, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.